Hi, I'm Jennings, and for the last 12 years, I've traveled the country to meet, mentor, and mastermind with some of the brightest and best minds both inside and outside of real estate. I've taken those ideas, brought them back to our team of experts, and sold hundreds of homes per year all across Silicon Valley, and this is how we do it. Hey there, Jennings with Real Estate Experts here. And with the market heating up again, we are starting to see multiple offers. So I want to share with you today 7 strategies to win in multiple offers. Now, if you've been in a multiple offer situation before, one of the simplest and foundational elements is we already will assume that you are a market expert. So the number one thing is to know the market. And what do I mean by know the market? Well, you want to study the comps. Understand what the most recent sales have been in the market, but more importantly, the pending sales, because pendings are going to be your most relevant data point. So be sure to call all your pendings and get ahead of what's there. The second thing you're going to want to do is go big or go homeless. Okay? What do I mean there is obviously we're going to want to write an offer higher than whatever the last known comparable pending sale is. And the narrative you can use with your clients is let them know, hey, look, there were 4 offers on this last property. If 3 of them didn't get the home, then we got to know those people who lost out are going to be looking to write at a higher price. The third thing, if your client really doesn't feel comfortable stretching for the top, consider using what's called an escalation clause. What's an escalation clause? Well, you don't see them much in the markets here around the Bay Area, but really good agents and agents that I've worked with from other states have told me about these, and we've used them successfully in our business. But an escalation clause is basically something you put in the contract to the effect of, we will offer $5,000 higher than the next highest offer up to a maximum price of X. So you simply include that as an addendum to your purchase agreement. Now, one thing I would mention, if you're going to try using an escalation clause, talk to the listing agent first before you present it. There are some listing agents who actually either don't understand the escalation clause or might not like it if they've never seen it before. So do that. The fourth thing you're going to want to do, obviously, is to make our terms as great as possible, is waive as many contingencies as possible. If you work with a great lender, you should be able to get your buyer fully pre-approved before you write that offer. So ideally, you can come in with no loan contingency and no appraisal contingency. Most sellers here in the Bay Area markets do pre-inspection, so you look at those inspections, and if you feel comfortable and your client feels comfortable, rely on those inspections and waive your inspection contingency. We do sometimes come across situations where the seller hasn't done pre-inspection. And if that's the case, you still have an opportunity to waive a property contingency. The way to do it is ask the listing agent if you can actually get the inspections done prior to making your offer. Most listing agents will actually offer that concession. It is an expense that does get incurred by your buyer, but if no one else is actually doing that, that's another differentiator that can help you make your offer stand out. The fifth thing that we're going to want to do in a multiple offer situation is put down a huge deposit. What do I mean by huge deposit? Well, what's customary in our area is a 3% deposit. I'm talking about if your buyer has the financial capability, put down a 10% deposit. On $1 million property, put $100,000 down. Now, some people might think, wow, does that put my client at risk? Well, if you read the car contract, the liquidated damages clause maximizes or sets the maximum for liquidated damages at 3%. So your client, even though they're putting down 10%, isn't really risking any more than the 3% they would in a normal situation. However, how do you think it looks to a seller if you come in with the highest price, no contingencies, and a 10% deposit? Definitely will make your offer stand out. Now, the sixth thing we want to do in a multiple offer situation is obviously write the love letter, right? The love letter. The love letter is something that has actually helped us win in a multiple offer situation when we weren't the highest price. And we've had that happen more than once. Obviously, when you do a love letter, you can provide a sample to your client and have them include pictures of the family. And in some instances, if they're willing to, even include a video, simply on their iPhone, shooting a 30-second video that you can either email or text to the listing agent to share with the sellers. And the last thing we want to do is create urgency. In a fast-moving market like we have here, the first one to the party can often be the winner. So what I mean here is you can use this as an opportunity to consider submitting a preemptive offer. And I would not ask for permission, simply present the offer, knowing that the listing agent has an obligation to present that offer to the seller. So there you have it. These are the 7 keys to win in multiple offer situations. So I hope you found this information helpful. Until we talk again, this is Jennings saying, don't just be an agent, be the expert.